Hi everyone, welcome back to our journey. If you're new, my name is Brenna and I'm so excited that you're here. I don't know about you, but this year has felt like it's just gone by so incredibly fast and I haven't been able to take you out to the garden like I would have liked to do. So let me show you what we have done and how the garden is going so far. One of the major things we did differently this year was getting some soil and compost from my parents' farm. We ended up doing this in 2 trips, and my mom and I estimated that the total came to probably about 2 tons. I didn't film a lot of the transport and unloading, but a huge thank you to our friends and family that helped out, and a special thank you to my husband who did a large portion of the work. My parents' soil has some clay in it, so we did buy some sand and coconut coir to help with drainage. My husband used this small rototiller that my parents loaned us to help mix everything together. After it was all mixed, we knew we were going to have to sift through the soil to pick out the larger pieces that still needed to break down. I was trying to figure out what we had on hand or if we needed to make something to work for us. And next thing I know, my husband grabbed one of our old metal shelves we used for the strawberries last year and balanced it on 2 buckets, and we were able to put the grow bags or pots underneath it to catch all the soil mixture that could pass through the grates. It worked absolutely perfectly and really helped speed up the process. When planning out our layout for our garden, I knew I was going to need to plant the tomatoes along the border to help maximize our space. Tomatoes have been something I've always tried to grow. I usually have decent success when it comes to the cherry tomato varieties, but the larger ones I always have struggled with. And I'm trying new things year after year to help improve my success. So this year, we are going to try to grow red cherry tomatoes, yellow pear tomatoes, and Roma tomatoes. I've been learning a lot on what tomatoes need to thrive, and it's really encouraging to see all of the fruit the plants have already. So I'm hoping to repeat some of these approaches next year and see if it works again. For example, when I plant tomatoes, I dig 2 or 3 inches deeper than what I need for the root system. I then crack an egg and put it in the pot, shell and all. I tried this last year and my tomatoes were the biggest I had in years. Definitely a step that I'll be keeping in the process. I do end up covering the egg and shell with some dirt and then actually plant the tomato plant. My husband and I are trying to grow at least 2 new things every year in our garden. One of them this year is potatoes. In our area, we can plant our potatoes as early as mid-March, and so that's what we decided to do. We went and purchased some seed potatoes from a farm supply store in town, and we ended up planting 4 red potatoes and 4 russet potatoes in these food grade barrels that my dad gave us since he didn't need them anymore. Before we planted them though, my husband did drill about 10 small drainage holes in each barrel. To experiment with how the drainage would work in these barrels, we did set one of them on this cement block and the other is sitting straight on the garden fabric. I was obsessively checking these potatoes to see if they sprouted because I really didn't know how they would handle the cool spring air. You may be able to imagine my relief when they finally broke through the topsoil. I will say this, I was not prepared for how tall they were going to get. I watered them as needed. Then around a month after we had planted them, I ended up adding some more soil, and now we are starting to notice the leaves browning within the last few days. We are going to let them die back and then maybe harvest them in a couple weeks. If you want to see if we get any potatoes, make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you can be notified when that video is uploaded. My biggest lesson of the garden this year has been these sugar snap peas. I did not plant these peas until the beginning of May, and I really should have planted them at least a month before. They grew really fast once they started trellising, but the heat lately has definitely got the better of them. I plan to do another round for the fall and see how well they do for us as a fall crop. I planted 2 different varieties of zucchini this year, one being the Black Beauty and the other being the Golden Yellow. My hope is that they will start showing more female flowers soon. I've only really seen a few, and the heat has definitely caused some issues, so if anything, I'm just going to replant them in the fall. Our cucumbers have definitely shown a lot of promise. We planted Muncher, Burpless, and Boston pickling varieties this year. I wanted to try some smaller cucumbers in hopes to do a lot of refrigerator pickles. I've seen a lot of flowers, and there's a few growing, so I'm really looking forward to that. On a side note, you may notice that a lot of these leaves are drooping. This is partly because of the heat, but also because I won't be watering until I finish recording. I didn't want to record after watering because then this area gets really slippery and I didn't want to fall. All right, back to show you everything else. Our carrots and lettuce are doing pretty well. I didn't get as much germination as I felt I did last year, so I will be doing some research on different techniques to help, especially with the carrot germination. I'm not sure how well this lettuce is going to do over the summer heat, but I should be able to at least get one good harvest from it. The next thing to show you is our green beans. Now, I planted these last spring in our grow tower, and they did not make it. I tried again in the fall, but used grow bags, and they did amazing. Well, here's to spring round 2. We planted 4 Blue Lake bush beans and 4 Early Serve bush beans. I like to do 4 plantings in each bag and plant 2 or 3 seeds in each spot. So hopefully each area can have at least 1 seed germinate. We had a pretty decent germination this year, and I'm interested to see what happens. But yet again, my only concern is the heat. We have had some pretty hot days, and quite a few flowers have just disappeared within the last couple of days. So just like with the zucchini, if this doesn't work out, I will definitely be continuing in them as a fall crop. I want to wrap things up by showing you these beautiful strawberry plants. If you're new, last year we bought 2 or 3 varieties of strawberries that are ever-bearing varieties. They quickly outgrew the strawberry towers we got, so as we winterize them, I knew we were going to need to transplant them into larger pots. They have just exploded, and now we're going to need to decide if we need to keep adding bags for next year or maybe get some smaller planting pots and give away the runners when they've established their root system. We are just running out of space with these strawberries, and that's such a wonderful blessing. We did have a few weeks where we were picking strawberries every few days or so, and so I'm really hoping for another round of that this fall. Stay tuned to see what happens. Thank you for hanging out with me today as I got to share with you a little bit about what we did differently for our garden space and how it's going. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like and share it with someone. If you want to come along our journey, see what other things we have going on, please be sure to follow and subscribe to our channel so you'll be notified when those videos get uploaded. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you soon. Bye!